I use submodality manipulation a lot with clients. I don't tend to use it as now we're going to do a submodality manipulation. But you know how people point to stuff and gesture when they're talking? When you pay attention to this stuff, start doing this, like the guy I said earlier, so these thoughts keep attacking me. You know, this is a genuine spatial representation of where the thoughts are attacking from. So you can gesture to that kind of stuff and say, and those thoughts are attacking you. Could you say, these thoughts are attacking me, and make some gesture that...
These thoughts are attacking me.
Okay, so an NLP trained person might say, the thoughts are attacking you.
Yeah, thoughts are attacking me.
And mirror it back. But I would be more inclined to go, the thoughts are attacking you, and look at the place where the thoughts are attacking and gesture towards the place where the thoughts are attacking from. Yeah, so you could call this a spatial anchor. And it's like if somebody says, I got this feeling in my chest, if you were to do that, go, yeah, I'm not going to go and mirror this back. I'm going to gesture towards here, which becomes, that means I can use this as an anchor at any point. Now there's a difference between being in rapport with a person, where mirroring is good, and being in rapport with their information. There's a difference. When you're dealing with information, it's much better to relate to that information where that person spatially codes it. If you just want to get that connection thing going on, there's a subtle difference between getting rapport with a person and getting rapport with their information. If you try to get rapport too much with a person while they're trying to access their information, they want to connect with you, not with their stuff.
That was interesting, because when you did that, I know the difference, when you mirrored and matched, when you looked to where that was when I'd said that, there's actually, you do a TDS and you go inside, and I was scanning what was going on there, because you looked there, and I drew attention to it, took me right back to it. So when I said, these thoughts are attacking me.
And that's just like, that's just a made up thing. If someone's got this thing really going on, you know, and I had a client the other day, and we'd done this stuff, and I wasn't sure we were done. There was something else going on. And she said, I've just got this voice, and she's doing this. Just got this voice saying that you can't do it. Okay, so you've got this voice, and she's gone, because I pointed at it. And I said, and you know where that voice is, don't you? Yeah. So what happens when? And then we can do the manipulation. Now, this is an interesting thing. I played with the volume of this first. Me just having said I only generally do these things, I played with the volume of the voice. For her, it was a quiet voice. And it was the fact that it was quiet and just insidiously whispering in the background that gave it its power. When we turned it up, it was just, I said, so when you turn it up, what's that like? She said, oh, no. I said, what do you mean, no? She said, it's like one of those annoying people at a party that keeps nagging you to dance. But, and that was better for her, because then the voice was just like, go away, you irritating voice, at that point. So we could turn it up and move it around. But the thing, this is pretty common NLP stuff. What seems to be less common is people doing it as it turns up on the fly. This, I think, is where submodality work is really powerful. So you can do this with voices that people might hear, feelings, if they're making a picture. Sometimes you see people and they're kind of doing the gesturing thing, and you can just say, so what is it that you see when you look there? Ooh, you know, some flash will come in. You can play with the submodalities. So, Michael, how are we going to do this completely without any context at all? Is there something, and you don't have to say what that is, but something that you would like to make a change around in your life, something that if you could have a difference with would be useful? There is, and that's something that you've got going on now.
Yes.
Okay, and here's an interesting way of doing it. Obviously you know some stuff about that thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm going to guess that there's a feeling associated with that. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so you know that feeling?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and how familiar is that feeling?
Quite familiar.
Quite familiar?
Yeah, know it quite well.
Quite well, okay. And when you're feeling that feeling and it's quite familiar, Whereabouts is that feeling?
It's sort of here.
Sort of here.
Yeah.
And is that where it starts? It starts there, or does it?
It sort of starts there and moves on up into my chest.
And it starts there and it moves on up
Yeah.
into your chest.
Yes.
So when it starts there and it moves on up into your chest, if that were to loop back round to the beginning and then just keep looping and looping, does that make that better or does that make that worse? Going round and round.
Yeah, it's sort of, it's as it moves round, it sort of gets, it feels, yeah, it doesn't feel quite as bad.
It doesn't feel quite as bad,
No.
okay. That's an interesting thing. So you know what that's like. If you were to give that a colour, what would that colour be?
Blue.
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 Yeah, blue colour.
So if you were to just move that out in front of you so you could see that
Yeah.
going around, how is that different with that out there?
Well, it's not mine anymore.
It's not yours anymore. Just notice what happens when you change the direction of that. Is there any difference to that now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's not, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
It doesn't mean anything anymore, and it doesn't mean anything anymore when it's there
Yeah.
and it's like that. It doesn't mean anything anymore. Try and make that. What was that like before? Try. When it was before, it was gone. Just try and get that back. While it's out here, when
But it's still out there.
it's still out there. So try and get that back while that's still out there.
But I can't.
But you
it's out
can't
there.
because it's out there. So if it stayed out there, what would that be like?
But it wouldn't be anything to do with me anymore.
It wouldn't be anything to do with you.
No.
And what difference would that make?
Well, the issue just isn't part of me anymore.
And it just isn't part of you anymore.
Yeah.
So when that's out there, how far away would you like to send that?
Can I give it a kick, or should I just
If you want to give it a kick, you can.
Sure.
You can
I mean, to infinity.
to infinity.
It can go, it's not important. It's not important anymore. It's
Yeah.
not important to me. So it can go and
So you can go, and then when it's gone, and it's gone. So it's
Yeah.
gone.
yeah.
Try and get it back when it's gone.
But it's gone.
But it's gone.
Mm.
And how is that now? It's
I don't
gone.
want it back. I don't,
And you don't want it
I
back,
don't
no.
want it back, yeah.
Okay. So even if you were to try and get that back and find it just went further away, you wouldn't care anyway because you don't want it back.
No.
When it goes further away, you don't want it back anyway.
No.
So what difference does that make?
Well, it's somewhat liberating in the sense that that which I thought wasn't possible is now actually, there's a possibility of possibility.
A possibility of possibility.
Yes. As opposed to no possibility.
Right. And when there's a possibility of possibility, what difference does that make?
Which sets up a different feeling inside of me.
A
in
different feeling.
place.
In a different place.
Yeah.
And what kind of feeling is that feeling?
It's a real good feeling.
A real good feeling.
It's a real good feeling.
So if you were to take that real good feeling with you today, what difference would that make?
It would be very good. It'd be terrific.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Be a much better feeling than that which I've let go.
So that really good feeling, and if you were to take that with you today, just notice that really good feeling and whereabouts that is.
Mm-hmm.
Just so as you can take all the time you need to know that, and just take a few steps around. Notice what it's like to walk with that new feeling.
What, just around here?
Yeah, just around anywhere, just so as you can walk with that feeling.
Yeah, it's neat. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Cool.
So you know when you take that with you today,
Yeah, as I walk, yeah.
as we walk, you can already begin to imagine some of the differences that will make in having that new feeling and knowing that you can take that with you.
Yes.
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 Thank you,
Thank you.
Michael. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for
Thank you.
listening.